Hello guys, Dr.Pitanger here, and I'm really upset because I spent an entire 90 minutes to talk about the new units and unfortunately didn't record anything, so I made a community post to talk about them. So this is gonna be a very short video compared to the 90 minutes I wanted to do. So I'm gonna talk about the viability of units in IS. So what I think about Akkord, the new 4-star Blastcaster, is that she's probably only a fringe option, only in the mid game, because in the early game you don't want like a Blastcaster, you want a unit that has utility like Indigo or Click, and in the late game you probably have enough hope so that you won't have to recruit a 4-star caster. I really believe she's not that great, the multipliers are not that great, and she has no utility at all, unlike Indigo with a root and Click with a stun, so yeah. Hadiya, it's a very interesting unit, a very versatile unit that can become a Dreadnought with S1 because she gains a lot of defense, and she can become a quote-unquote a Centurion with S2 because she gains a lot of attack and she attacks multiple enemies at the same time. And also, whenever she gets deployed, she also stuns enemies from what I'm understanding. So it's a unit that is very interesting on paper. Unfortunately, she has like barely 630 attack, I believe. Even if she can increase her attack like 5 times, so like plus 25%, it's really not that great. However, I want to emphasize the fact that this archetype seriously seems interesting, and I really can't wait to see the 6-star equivalent of this, and even the 4-star if they decide to one day release the 4-star. Regarding Snow Hunter, she's absolutely insane with Archetto because her S1 is offensive recovery, and every time she activates her skill, her talent procs, which also deals more than 200% of an attack. So she deals, like, I made some calculations, excluding defense, she deals 4500 damage with her S1, and she also probably freezes the target because she inflicts cold for 3 seconds, but with Archetto she's probably gonna freeze the target if she has enough attack speed and stuff. So yeah, she's probably one of the best priority with Archetto now, I would say. Astgenne Alter, so the issue with Astgenne Alter is that her S1 is very basic and her S3 multipliers are very bad. However, her S2 is offensive recovery, so I would say she's probably a decent option with Archetto now. There are much better units for dealing arts damage with Archetto, right? Like Mantra, Tragedia, this kind of stuff. But she can certainly work. She can like perma slow and perma pull enemies. So this is very interesting. Regarding Pramanix, I would say Pramanix is a really great unit overall that is unfortunately held back by the fact that she has no sustain at all. She only like revives once and then she's gonna die because she has no resistance and no defense. She still is a phalanx caster, so she benefits from the Hand of Rumble. She's definitely a unit that is worth considering, for example in Ice 5, if you decide to go for Whistlerdale, this kind of stuff. But I'm afraid she's probably like gonna die in seconds, for example in the stage of Quilon, which is probably one of the stages where you want more AoE, right? I don't know, like she needs more testing, but she's certainly an extremely powerful unit. It's very odd because she's pretty much like Carnelian in that she's a phalanx caster that deals a lot of damage and has no sustain at all. Carnelian has a quote-unquote sustain, but only when she activates her skill, and Pramanix only once and only when she dies, so kinda whatever. But in my opinion, she works very well with Gnosis Alpha. She certainly has a place if you decide to go for Whistlerdale and the Hand of Rumble, or if you decide to go with Gnosis Alpha. Sash Alter fills the niche of a must-pick late-game vanguard, which is usually not what you want, right? You want a mid-game vanguard that is, for example, in S, or an early-game vanguard that is Beanstalk, usually in Ice 5. In the late game, he's absolutely insane because of the fragile application and also because of the invisibility reveal, all the damage he's able to dish, and he has a lot of initial SP on S3, and his S2 is very interesting. I'm really want to know if there's a way that you can recruit, for example, Sash Alter as well as April in the early game and make it work, right? This would need testing. I'm sure this can work, but do you really want to do that? I'm not sure about this. This needs quite a lot of testing. Gnosis Alpha is what I said in the post, is that she works well with Angelina. She works really well with Angelina. All you have to do is wait for an enemy to come near to the blue box. You deploy Angelina and Gnosis, and the whole map is gonna take 1800 damage of Angelina's attack, which is usually gonna delete the whole map. So it's gonna be very useful on maps where there are some unreachable enemies or enemies that are very far away that you want to snipe. So yeah, this seems very interesting. The only thing we need to know is the AoE of the attack of Gnosis, because she's gonna deal AoE damage with her attack. So if it's like an AoE caster, it's already pretty good, but can it be even better is the question I'm really asking myself. So we're gonna see this. I can't wait to see some use of her. She seems very interesting now, particularly with Angelina. Of course, if you don't have Angelina, the value is very much lower than this, unfortunately, but yeah, there's certainly a lot of synergy with her now. And finally, Similarly with Gnosis Alpha, Gnosis Alpha is probably what ties the whole Kjerag package together, because it's gonna allow Sash Alter to inflict freeze. It's gonna allow S1 Pramanix to inflict freeze. He inflicts 80% fragile, which is absolutely insane. He reduces the resistance. Pramanix can also reduce the resistance to S3, so he's gonna be, in my opinion, very good. I'm not sure if Snow Hunter is also from Kjerag, probably, I think. So there's like a good Kjerag operator from basically any class now, except maybe Defender and maybe Specialist. Like Specialist as Clifford and Defender has like stuff like Matterhorn, Aurora, but that's not really good. So I think the whole package is good enough to be run. It's also gonna need some testing, but I think it's certainly viable. So sorry if this video is much shorter than the other one. Maybe the format is good enough for you. Let me know about this in the comments, and see you guys in the next video.